Jeffrey, good morning. What's going on there, young man?
Hey, good morning, Brent. Hanging out here in the Napa Valley.
I know you're a little under the weather this morning. I appreciate
Yeah.
you showing up for our scheduled meeting to bang out a few episodes today.
Commitment,
Which
baby. Commitment.
total commitment, and it's like you just said. You woke up around 2 to let the dog out and not feeling great, and then never really went back to sleep. So I think you're in like a free flow form of just
Could be.
I do not care what they think, and I'm just going to let her rip.
Just going to be pulling things in from the universe today, man. Just
That's
whatever's
right.
passing by. Just going to grab onto it and spit it out, right?
Let me make
Here
sure
we go.
I've actually started the recording. Oh, good, I did. Okay.
Here we go.
I don't have an excuse for, free flow form. I don't know. Anyway, I got something. Well, I got a statement I'm going to make because you busted my chops in the last one about I made a statement. You said, "Well, what's the question?" And so the statement is a generic statement, but it really applies to our tennis games, and I think that. Well, I'll just throw it out there to you, and then just let you kind of have at it. Anyway, the statement goes like this: the problem of knowing that something is off and having the inability to know what to do about it. So when I heard that, and I was on a podcast with I think Jim Collins and Tim Ferriss a couple weeks ago, it kind of made me think that we get into matches and something's off. Something's just
Right.
off, and we either don't we're just not real about it. We don't recognize that
Right.
something's off, so we're sort of in denial. But even if we aren't in denial and we actually realize something's off here, either it could be a whole host of things. But the big issue here is not knowing what to do about it. And so for me, it's like if I'm confused about what to do against a certain opponent, sometimes
Right.
rather than trying to jam this in or jam that in or force, I got to play high or I got to play better, or I got to go to a total plan B or
Right.
plan C, it's like sometimes if I don't know what the answer is, if I'll just trust that if I just stay calm and relax and go through my between points routine and not go crazy, that something's going to come to me somewhere down the road. Now, it may not happen, right? It may not happen, but in my experience, I find that if I really try to force something in there to solve a problem, all right, I know this is off,
Right.
so I'm going to do this thing, but I don't really know if that's kind of like my inability to know what to do, even though I'm trying to shove something in there. So again, for me, it's like if I can't figure it out right then and there, if I'll just, all right, let's just hit a few more balls in the court, let's just stay calm, and maybe something's going to come to me.
So let me break this down then a little bit, one step further. And so are you talking about in general terms, or are you like dividing the two things? Are you talking about I don't know what strategy to deploy here, or are you talking about strokes that actually kind of break
Well,
down?
that's
Like
what
I
it,
don't know what to do.
and I don't know what to do either. So I know something's off, right?
So you're
And
not sure which of
I,
those things
I
is
don't know
off.
what it is. I'm losing points. I'm losing games. I've lost the first set. I'm down a break in the second, and I can
Right.
sense that something is off, but I don't know. I don't know what to do about it. And so
Right.
either I start thinking, well, maybe it's stroke. Maybe I gotta, maybe I'm trying to, like you say, I'm looking for the exit too early, trying to end the
Right.
points too soon. Because on that day, I had an extra half cup of coffee and I'm a little jumpy out there, right?
Right. Right.
Or I, didn't have a great night's sleep and I'm a little jumpy out there. Uh,
Well, right. So
or there's the car in the parking lot where the guy hasn't figured out how to turn off the alarm.
The alarm.
and I'm getting a little jumpy out there.
Right.
Or there's the other guy on the court a couple courts away who's going crazy, right?
Right.
And he's screaming and yelling at everything, and everyone's kind of looking at him, could you just shut up? But of
Yeah.
course,
No
that
one's no
doesn't
one's
work.
getting paid. No one's getting paid here, dude.
Yeah. So,
No one's making money on this deal. Relax.
no.
I think the first thing is kind of like, again, the biggest. I think one of the biggest things is being honest in the moment, like the honest assessment in the moment, right? Is that sometimes you can't figure out what. So for me, it's like, I'm not exactly sure how to solve the equation today. I know that, normally too, if, you can, I think the tougher one to solve is like when a stroke starts to go off, right? Then it is deploying a different strategy, because that kind of comes like if you're on a certain path, or you think you're, opening up well and you're still losing, right? I mean, I can 2016 playing the national grass courts. I think it was my third round match, and playing Tom Lucci, great, tall, great baller. He actually ended up losing in the finals that year. And I came out striking the ball well. I mean, I was hitting the ball well. And he was just hitting it a little better.
What's up with that?
What's up with that? I was hitting my marks on the serve, and he was just free swinging. And I'm kind of looking at it going, well, in my head, I'm kind of going, I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I love playing on grass. Why isn't this working out? I mean, literally, I'm having this kind of like discussion in my head, because I'm going, I'm hitting my marks on the serve. I'm coming in, I'm balanced. And yet he's just putting that ball just out of my range, where I can't really stick the volley, and I can't really control the drop volley, the short volley on the grass. And all of a sudden, 5-1, I lose the first set 6-1, but around 4-1 is when I started to make the shift here. And I really had to take the moment on the changeover to like calm down and kind of get a vision. I need to figure out a way to prolong and put the end of this match farther away. So I slowed down, right? I slowed down between points. I took a little more time. Again, not taking advantage, but just taking a little more time on the changeover in between points and everything, to make the end of the match farther away, just on a time factor. And then, I kind of went, Tom's tall and he's got range, and so I went, okay, I think I need to get this guy inside. I think I need to, like a boxer, I think I need to start playing this guy in close to the body and make him have to get out of the way of the ball a little more. So, the return to serve and everything, by the end of the first set, I started to dial in. I didn't win those two games. I still lost, got broken, and he held. But I was in the hunt in those two games. I think we deuced in both those games, and I kind of felt like I was starting to feel out the strategy of what to do. And then second set, I ended up losing the second set in the breaker, 7-6. And we had a little thing caused by, talk about being a problem caused by an issue on the court next to me. At the most critical moment in that match, I had clawed. I ended up going down 4-1 in the second set, but I still felt good about where I was. I felt like I was again clawing my way back in, and I clawed my way back to 4-all. 4-all. Tom serving at love 30. I feel really good right now. And I can see he's actually getting a little tight on those first two serves. Just the fact that we got to 4-all, I'm in it. I'm making something happen, and an issue happens in the court next to me, and Tom is about to serve a second serve at love 30, 4-all. The court next to me, who shall remain nameless, yells across my court, to an umpire who was walking across the court to my right about the call that his opponent made. And did you see that? He starts having this conversation, and the umpire starts talking back to him across my court. I'm like, my head is ready to spin off my shoulders, right? So, of course, the umpire hands Tom play 2.
Boy.
Well, thank you very little. Tom takes that time to walk back to the fence. Take an extra 20 seconds now because all bets are off now.
Right.
So I'm spinning. And so he has time to reassess, and we're playing on grass. We're playing on grass. And so all of a sudden he pops in a couple good first serves. I get a wicked bounce on one. Now it's 30-all. Tom's feeling fine now. And he and so I end up losing the game, right? And we switch sides, and now I gotta calm myself down again. And I do. And I go back to my strategy because it's where it got me. As I understand, I'm getting back into the inside on him again, and we switch sides. The player from the other court passes by me and starts to apologize, and I have to look him in the eye and say, "You need to get off my court right now." And I wasn't quite as nice with the verbiage at the moment because I was still like really pissed off. But I needed to make it short and sweet. I needed him off my court because I needed to get back to focus. And so anyway, I hold serve. And anyway, we get to the tiebreaker. And so I feel good at that moment that I was able to keep myself together and get to the breaker. And 2 points that decide the breaker. I end up losing the breaker, I think 7-5. I miss a pass down the line. I hit it. I hit the ball about an inch wide. He didn't see it very well. He looks to me to make the call. I got to be honest. And so I said, "No, Tom, I missed it wide." And so now it's whatever it was. Gave him the mini break, and then the next break he serves. I stick this beautiful return. He half volley, hits the tape, crawls over the net. There's the second mini break, and then so at that point it's like 4-1 or something, and
yeah. Well, look,
and,
I mean,
and then it's over. So anyway, circling back, that's the story. Circling back to the original question, you've got to come up with a plan to extend the match somehow.
Yeah, that's right.
That's either like, you know what, I'm just going to hit every ball I get now up the middle of the court.
Well, no, I mean,
hustle and run down everything.
Yeah. No, you're exactly right. I mean, and the thing is something's off. You don't know what the solution is right then and there, except I want to extend the length of this match by simply going right back up the middle of the court.
Right.
And I guess my point is that's kind of what I feel as well. And I just sort of assume, or I trust that if I do that, something will come to me. Either what I was off like technique-wise, right. If I was off technique-wise a little bit, missing forehands or missing whatever, that if I do that, then all of a sudden the technical issue goes away.
Right.
And I haven't really solved the technical issue other than simply extending the time of the match and just going straight up the middle. And, first of all, when you go straight up the middle, you take away that anxiety of, I'm actually trying to hit the ball away from this guy and I sure hope he doesn't get to it. So now all of a sudden that anxiety level is down, is gone. You know he's going to touch the ball. And so I guess the message I want to get across today is that it's going to happen, right? You're going to get out there someday. It's going to feel off. Something's going to feel off. And the best way to solve it, if you don't know what it is, sometimes you might know what it is. I mean, sometimes I know I go out there and there's a little technical thing like on my serve, right? I feel like, oh, you know what? I'm coming out of my serve a little bit too early to try to get ready.
Right.
So I'll just give myself a cue to stay in there a little bit longer, and that will fix it, right? That will sort of be the quick fix for that moment. But if you don't know really what to do about feeling off, then I think Jeff's advice is extend the time of the match. You might upset the tournament director because he wants to get that court because he's backed up with that guy over here who's screaming and yelling, and he's backed up with these guys over here trying to help the guy solve the problem with his car horn that won't stop. So he's looking for a court. Well, too bad, man. I'm going to extend this match as long as I can. Court 4 is going to be down for a while. Sorry, you're not getting it back.
The other thing about putting the ball at the middle of the court is that you start to see your ball land in more. You start to make more shots. That naturally tends to lead us into feeling just a little bit more confident about our timing, our stroking, how we're hitting the ball. And so that can in turn then kind of start to free us up a little bit, and then we can start then to get back to a little bit more pattern work and all that. And it might just be enough to have thrown your opponent off a little bit. Is he playing 5% less than he was the first set? And that could be enough to make the match last a little longer. And, it's not a guarantee for a win, but it is, can you keep extending the match long enough to actually get to the win? And sometimes you can, and sometimes you can't, and that's just the nature of the beast. There is no guarantee. This is not an exact science, but you do have to have the clarity of mind to decide, I'm going to do something other than being bullheaded and just saying, I'm just going to keep serving until I start getting it. I'm just going to keep doing this.
Right.
And I'd say that's the quickest way to find the exit door back to the clubhouse without the balls in your hand.
That's right. That's good. That's good.
Is to just keep doing what you're doing without any kind of shift of mindset and strategy.
Yeah, good. All right. Well, take another sip over there because I know you're. Anyway. Hey, listen, guys. Thanks for hanging out with us today. And Jeff and I are still offering a free 10-minute coaching call. Literally no charge. It's free. It's complimentary. It's on the house. It's on us. And all you got to do to get signed up for that call is to, if you're not on our email list, go over to goalballhunting.com, drop in a first name and an email address, and you'll get sent over to our online scheduler where you can cherry pick a date and a time that works best for you for a short 10-minute but very valuable call where if you'll bring that one thing right now in your game that if you could just open the door, if you could just stick the key in and wait a minute, this key doesn't work, man. Let me try a different key. We definitely want to help you get there. And on that, I'm going to say, what else? What's the last thing we always want the fine folks to do right now, Jeffrey?
Like us, share us, please subscribe, and leave a comment below.
Outstanding.
Please.
Outstanding. Guys, get out there today, help someone else have a spectacular day. And Jeff, we are definitely going to do this again tomorrow.
Can't wait.